Hello. Hello, 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 hello. All right, so we're going to give it a couple of minutes to wait just for others to join, and I'll get started. Guys, I'm ready to get started now, but I'm going to wait. I am going to wait. Maybe a minute. All right. Let's get started. All right. So, the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about the victim versus a victor mindset. Okay. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. We're just going to recap for today and then talk about the root of these things. Okay. Or the root between a victim mindset and the root of a victor mindset. Because no matter what, no matter if it's positive or negative, everything still has a root. All right. So, what we discussed in the first week of the victim mindset was they allow others to think for them. Okay, so a victim does not want to think for themselves out of the fear of being wrong. So, if I allow you to make the decision, then I'm free and clear, right? Okay, so number two is they're fearful of life. Okay, so life is a scary place for them. Out of their lens, they are fearful to go at life or to just enjoy life. Enjoying life is not even an option for in a victim mindset. But as a victor, they have another approach, and we'll get to that soon. All right, so number three, they lack confidence. So out of a victim mindset, the confidence isn't truly there. They are present, but they're not really confident in what they're doing. And so if you find someone who has the victim mindset and they lack confidence, but they're in a position where they have to exert themselves, it may come across as being arrogant or prideful because they're truly not at rest in themselves. So what they exert out is I have to, I don't want others to know what I'm feeling or how I look at myself. So I'm going to push it. And a lot of times when we push something that truly isn't there and do not want to admit that or admit it to ourselves, it comes out again as pridefulness. All right. And so that was the number one week. All right. Number two week of discussing a victim mindset. These are the three things that we talked about then. All right. So number one was they depend on others to define their emotional state. So I shared with you that when someone is moving and operating out of a victim mindset, when we're looking at number one, when they depend on others to define their emotional state, it sounds like you made me feel this way. You made me do this or that instead of taking ownership and accountability for what they've done themselves, okay? Or how they feel themselves, rather, because no one can make us feel any way. We have self-discipline to do that, to feel whichever way we want, and a lot of times that is defined by our perception and how we view things. Okay. Number two, they approach ideas and changes in a fearful and anxious state. So everything is a big deal. Everything is fearful to them because they have not come to the understanding that it does not have to be, but it is simply a mindset change that needs to shift so that we're not out of a victim mindset looking at life or changes in that state. So again, it's just a shift that needs to take place. So we are looking out of the proper lens. Okay. And number three, they're closed minded, fearful of new information and the opinions of others. So a lot of times when it comes to the opinions of others, um, out of the victim mindset, they tend to shy away and not share their true opinions or advice or answer or what have you to a situation out of the fear and the opinions of others. Closed-mindedness and the fear of new information, well, what I may gain from hearing you out may alter what I already have in my head, my perception in my head. So I don't want to listen to what you have to say because, again, it may alter what I have. So closed-mindedness and not listening to new information. All right, but a victor mindset, going back to week 1, with the 3 things that we discussed, is they seek the will of God for their lives and move. So the flip side of that, for the victim, it was others think for them. As a victor, we're thinking for ourselves, but we're also seeking God for what his will is for our lives, and then we're moving upon what he's saying. Okay. Number 2, for a victor mindset, they anticipate a great future. Under a victim mindset, they were fearful of life, but a victor anticipate a great future. They plan, they anticipate, they're excited, they're joyous, they're ready for a great future. Okay, and number 3, for a victor mindset, they're full of confidence and trust in God. Under a victim mindset, they lack confidence, but a victor is full of confidence. Why? Because they trust God. Okay, that was week 1. Week 2, we discussed these 3 things. They realize that they are under a victor, realize that they are in charge of their mindset and emotions. Okay, so I shared on the Facebook Live that the Bible indicates that we are to work out our own soul salvation. Our soul embodies our mind, will, and emotions, okay? Not God's will, but what we want. Our feelings, our emotions, our mindset, all of those things, that's in our soul. So we have to work that out ourselves. And the proper way to do that is to base it off of the Word of God. Okay, so we want to live in truth. We want our mindsets to be renewed. We want to move in full throttle. And the way to do that, again, is to base it off of the Word of God so that we can be in proper alignment. All right, so number 2, for the second week, it's understand that all things work together. So if it's a change that causes uneasiness, they trust God for the change. And this is my favorite part, and their feelings. So here's the thing. We're not saying not to feel. We're not saying that feelings do not occur. We're not saying that you won't feel fearful at times or nervous or anxious or any of those things. We're not saying any of that. We're simply saying when you feel them, trust God with them. Tell him about it. And if he leads you to share it with someone else, then allow him to lead you to share it with someone else and share that with them as well, because they may have something to share with you, or you may be helping them even in that state. So we're not saying dismiss it. We're saying go to it, but trust God with the feelings as well. And number 3, they understand that all information and or beliefs may or may not be for them, but that does not mean that they just dismiss, under a victor mindset, dismiss everything. So their minds aren't closed. They're open-minded, but they have a firm foundation on God, so that anything that is not in alignment with God's way, then we can dismiss it. But if it is, grow on that. Allow ourselves to expand so that our minds can be open and fulfilled, and we can move with new information, new understanding, new wisdom, and new revelation. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm coming up at 10 minutes, and I was trying to make it to 5, at 5 minutes. So I'm over time. But again, I hope you guys truly enjoyed and that we have inspired, enriched, and encouraged your mindset today or this evening. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day.